my opponent actually came away with the victory in that match. We brought some cool stuff last time. We brought like Agility Arcanine with the Gallenberry and the Natural Gift to bop Zygarde 50%. We brought Autotomized Celesteela, I do believe, and like a Calm Mind Mega Diancie, I believe, something like that. However, this match we decided to bring a little bit different kind of approach. A little bit different kind of approach this time. Even though our team worked out pretty good last time and had Arcanine had a better role on the Hitmonchan, then we would have probably won that match anyway. But we didn't win, and we come away with a loss, and it's something we want to rectify in this match. We get a chance to go to the finals if we win, and we also get a chance to rectify a loss that we have. So first off, his roster is Chandelure, Clefable, Ferrothorn, Hitmonchan, Meloetta, Mega Pinsir, Smeargle, Tentacruel, Tornadus Incarnate, Zipstrika, and Zygarde the Z-Captain. So got our hands full this week, for sure. Our team, it hasn't changed since the week 3 or 4. We have pretty much the same squad still. Mega Diancie, Acelgor, Arcanine, Celesteela the Z-Captain, Donphan, Electros, Golurk, Pukamaku, Salamence, Shaman, and the Weavile. So yeah, pretty content with our team. And yeah, we built this squad here where we're going to be bringing Mega Diancie, Celesteela, Weavile, Arcanine, Salamence, and Donphan. Where we're going to start off with our Mega Diancie here. We have a Timid Nature, Max Special Attack, nearly Max Speed Mega Diancie with Moonblast, Power Gem, Psyshock, and Hidden Power Fire. He doesn't have a switch into this. I can just click Moonblast and Power Gem respectively. Once he has two solid checks, and the other ones are beatable just by punching through eventually. But he does have 2 checks in Tentacruel and Ferrothorn. So if I can catch them on the switch in, a max HP Tentacruel is getting 2-hit KO'd by Psyshock, and if it's defensive, excuse me, if it's defensive, then it's still kind of a roll, and the Hidden Power Fire will 2-hit KO a Ferrothorn, and if it's Occaberry, then it'd be harder to 2-hit KO. Obviously, it'll probably be more like a 3-hit KO. But if I can catch it on the switch in with Hidden Power Fire, I could be in a pretty good position. Same for Tentacruel with the Psyshock. Yeah, but this Pokemon is just really solid against my opponent. Power Gem knocks out the Chandelure. Moonblast is doing quite a bit to Clefable. Moonblast knocks out Hitmonchan unless it's like Max HP, Max Spadef, or like Assault Vest or something like that. Does a decent amount to Meloetta, unless it's bulky or Assault Vest again. Power Gem knocks out the Mega Pinsir. Moonblast knocks out the Smeargle. Power Gem knocks out Tornadus. Moonblast knocks out Zipstrika and Zygarde. Zipstrika after rocks. It does have poor Spadef and average HP. So the real only 2 checks he does have to Mega Diancie are Ferrothorn and Tentacruel, which can be wore down and pressured by the rest of my team as well. So this is a super cool mod here. I figured the approach I wanted to bring this match was to bring, one specially offensive mon that my opponent can't deal with, and one physically offensive Pokemon that my opponent can't deal with, and then a setup Pokemon, and 3 defensive Pokemon. And that was the route I chose to bring this time. So I'm going to hop into my other more immediately offensive presence. I'm going to skip over Celesteela and go straight to Weavile. This Pokemon provides my team with excellent offensive pressure straight off the bat with a Choice Band, and Knockoff and Icicle Crash hits everything pretty hard. Like Banded Knockoff knocks out the Chandelure. Banded Icicle Crash is doing a lot to Clefable. It's also doing a lot to Hitmonchan. Bandit Knockoff knocks out the Meloetta. Bandit Icicle Crash knocks out Mega Pincer. Smeargle. Bandit Knockoff is doing quite a bit to Tentacruel, even if it's defensive. Bandit Icicle Crash knocks out the Tornadus Incarnate. A non-bulky Zebstrika and Zygarde, as well as knocking out a Zygarde with Ice Shard if it like sets up with Dragon Lance or something like that. So yeah, definitely got to be aware of that. And Pursuit, I can trap things such as Mega Pincer, such as Tentacruel. I can get rid of Tentacruel. Like, say Tentacruel switches in on Weavile and takes a knockoff. And then later so it takes 2 rounds of rocks, abandoned knockoff, and then takes, I come in with Weavile later, and he wants to keep Tentacruel to check my Mega Diancie, and he switches out, and I click Pursuit, and I could put it in range of potential rocks. I could maybe even kill it. I could put it in range of Mega Diancie as well. And yeah, this Pokemon is just super solid with that. And the Icicle or the Ice Shard helps with like setup Zygarde or Mega Pincer. If he sets up and he wants to quick attack through my team, Ice Shard can potentially negate that. However, he could run Feint. Feint could be a set, but you never know. So yeah, I have enough speed to outpace, I think, Zebstrika. And Mega Diancie speed, is enough speed to outpace Mega Pincer 100%, and potentially outpace something like Tornadus or Zebstrika that might be speed creeping a Mega Diancie that speed creeps the Mega Pincer. So just in case he's doing that, I have just a little bit extra speed, and then he can't creep my Weavile without Choice Scarf users. So there's that. So my opponent's offense, he has Chandelure, Hitmonchan, Meloetta, Mega Pincer, Tornadus, Zebstrika, and the Zygarde. Some more threats than others. Like, I don't see Chandelure as that big of a threat, since I do have Arcanine, I do have Weavile, I do have Mega Diancie, I do have Donphan. So that one's a little bit more or less likely to come. However, I am prepared for it with the mons that I do bring. My team naturally works well against Chandelure. Clefable, however, could be problematic. I do have Celesteela and Arcanine, so I shouldn't be in too much trouble. Same for Ferrothorn. I do have the Arcanine. I do have Hidden Power Fire on Mega Diancie. I do have Salamence with the Flamethrower, as you'll see a little bit later. So yeah, I just wanted to use these 2 Pokemon offensively to pressure my opponent's team. Use my defense to try to like negate some of his offense. Celesteela naturally checks Mega Pincer, and Clefable and Ferrothorn. Arcanine and Salamence together, plus Donphan checks Hitmonchan and Zygarde to an extent. And I can offensively check the Zygarde, the Tornadus, so on and so on, with Weavile, which is just a really, really good mon in this matchup, in my opinion. So let's go back to the mon that we skipped already and get up to our setup sweeper here with our Celesteela. We're running this is basically the same set we brought in our first matchup. Speaking of our first matchup, I think we bring the exact 6 Pokemon, but they're performing just a little bit different roles here. Some of the EV spreads are almost identical, but they're performing just a little bit different roles here based on our previous match. So we have the modest max special attack Celesteela here with the Flyinium Z, Autotomize, Air Slash, Heavy Slam, and Flamethrower. The reason I'm running Heavy Slam with a minus attack nature is because Calm Mind Clefable could potentially beat me if I was Flash Cannon, but Heavy Slam before an Autotomize will still be doing significant amount of damage, even with a modest nature. And then Air Slash for literally everything else, and Flying EMZ to boost that, and the Flamethrower as our last move. Just to be able to hit the Ferrothorn, and with a special attack boost, If we get a beast boost, then it's doing quite a bit to Zip Strika as well. A little bit more than air slash and heavy slam. And we have enough HP and SPDF investment to take hits from things like Tornadus, Zip Strika, enough natural, bulk and HP investment to take on Zygarde and I guess like a physically offensive Hitmonchan as well. So that's pretty cool. And enough speed so that after an Autotomize, we definitely outpace Mega Pinsir, we outpace Tornadus. Let me just make sure exactly what speed I'm setting at for that. So it'll be 178 times 2 equals 356, meaning, yeah, we're outpacing the Tornadus Incarnate, and we're not actually outpacing the Zip Strika, which is a little bit weird, but it makes sense since the Zip Strika and Tornadus are more than likely going to be speed creeping a Mega Diancie that speed creeps Mega Pinsir. Excuse me. So yeah, outside of just being problematic for my opponent and my opponent actually having to scout what kind of set I am, what kind of role I'm trying to perform and whatnot, Celesteela is going to cause him some issues, I do believe. And yeah, we can move back on to our defensive core now. We have Arcanine with Will-O-Wisp, Flare Blitz, Bulldoze, and Morning Sun. Bypassed the offensive agility set this time because that was more of a surprise factor, and since I don't have the surprise factor anymore, I don't think it's actually going to work out. So I got the defensive Arcanine here. With a little bit of SPDF investment, it allows me to take on Chandelure, allows me to take on Hitmonchan. I can take a hit, maybe 2 from Mega Pinsir. And like his only real switch in outside of Flash Fire Chandelure is Tentacruel, both of which get bopped by the Bulldoze. So a defensive Arcanine, well, I guess Zygarde's a switch in, but last time he got caught with the natural gift Ice, so I don't know if they'll do that again. And yeah, I'm just able to bop everything on his team with Flare Blitz, Morning Sun up to get my health back that I might lose, and Bulldoze to catch 2 potential switch-ins in Chandelure and Tentacruel, with Will-O-Wisp to potentially catch Zygarde, Mega Pinsir, etc. So, let's see here. Intimidate helps a lot against things like Hitmonchan, Mega Pinsir, and Zygarde if he's physically offensive sets. However, if he's specially offensive Zygarde, then Intimidate's pretty useless outside of Mega Pinsir and Hitmonchan, which aren't the biggest threats on paper. Oh, well, Mega Pinsir is, but I actually do have some solid checks and ways to offensively check it, so it's not the biggest threat. However, Hitmonchan, if you saw a little mini clip at the beginning, Hitmonchan actually cleaned up our last game and was a major issue for my team. So just being able to intimidate that, potentially Will-O-Wisp it, and clicking very strong Flare Blitzes is just really nice for weakening Hitmonchan to make sure that it's not a nuisance like it was last time. Because that was really a nuisance. Next up, we got Salamence, Mr. Jambat here. Another Intimidate Pokemon, helps me more with, Mega Pinsir, Zygarde, and Hitmonchan. With this special set, I can't really sweep or anything like that, but this set's not really meant to sweep. I got the Dragon Pulse just for, stab to do the most damage to everything that's not Clefable. I got the Flamethrower for the Ferrothorn, Roost, and Toxic. Toxic there to hit Clefable. Since I do have Salamence and Weavile, he's more inclined to run a Unaware set to, be unaware of Swords Dance, Dragon Dance, Weavile, and Salamence respectively. So I expect him not to be Magic Guard, and I'll be able to scout, seeing if he takes rock damage and whatnot. And if I can get this thing Toxic, if I can Toxic the Clefable and keep the rest of my team pretty healthy, such as Arcanine, Donphan, and Celesteela, then Clefable should never be an issue, and Salamence should be able to repetitively come in on things, roost up, and switch out, and make, once Clefable comes in, then it just takes rock damage, it takes toxic damage, it takes potential flamethrower damage and whatnot. So yeah, pretty cool. Salamence again has quite a bit of special attack investment, but it is max HP, so I am very bulky. With Intimidate also boosting my defense and a little bit of Spadef. I think this Spadef investment and HP investment allows me to not be 2-hit KO'd by Moonblast from Clefable. However, I think Ice Beam still drops me. I have enough speed to outpace base 80s and enough special attack investment to make sure that Flamethrower 2-hit KOs Clefable, as well as Dragon Pulse doing quite a bit to things that aren't fairies or steel types. So pretty happy about that. I can switch in on a Zygarde's 1,000 Arrows, and I don't expect Zygarde to be max speed, so I can switch in on it, and I expect to be faster, so I can intimidate it and then force it out unless he thinks he's faster than me, and I actually can do quite a bit of damage with the Dragon Pulse, which is pretty cool. So yeah, really happy about this Salamence set. It's very similar to the one we brought last time, as is much of this team. But last but not least, we have Donphan, who is a leftover set, mostly Spadef, because Zipstrika can actually cause issues for my Celesteela. Chandelier, if I overlook it and don't think it as a threat, then I can potentially be caught off guard by it as well. This thing also does pretty good damage to things like Tornadus, Tentacruel, Smeargle, Hitmonchan, and Meloetta. Which can really help out the rest of my team. So I got the Earthquake for basically everything outside of Mega Pinsir and Tornadus, which the Rock Slide will be doing significant damage to. Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin so that I can control the Hazard Ward. My opponent has the ability to set up Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes, as well as Spikes, pretty freely. And if he wants to get cheeky, he can bring Smeargle as well and throw in some Sticky Webs. And potentially be a Spike or Toxic Spike or Stealth Rock setter himself. I think Mega Pinsir also gets Stealth Rocks too, so. Excuse me. Not saying that he would bring Stealth Rock Mega Pinsir, because I think even though I do have Celesteela, it does match up better offensively than it does as a Stealth Rocker. And he could always, if he wanted to run a Celesteela lure, he could run a substitute Mega Pinsir with Flail, so that once it gets to 1%, Flail is actually going to knock out a Celesteela after Stealth Rocks. So that's pretty dope. But yeah, that's just about it for the team, and I guess we can hop into the replay now. So we'll be right back. Alright, so here we are with the replay, and my opponent chooses to bring the Tornadus, Incarnate, Ferrothorn, Clefable, Hitmonchan, Zygarde 50%, and the Zipstrika. Opponent chooses to bypass on bringing things like Chandelier, Mega Pinsir, and Tentacruel, and Meloetta. So some nice threats left on the bench, but he did bring some nice other threats, like I mentioned, Hitmonchan and Zipstrika. are low-tier nuisances to my team. Tornadus Incarnate and Zipstriker are high-tier nuisances to my team, and Clefable and Ferrothorn are Clefable and Ferrothorn. So, yeah, a bit problematic there. I think this is a little bit different than the first team he brought versus me. I think last time he brought more of a, well, I think it was the exact same team. No, he brought Tentacruel last time over the Tornadus Incarnate. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what his sets were last time. I know what was it? I know Zipstriker had Overheat. Tentacruel was a rocker and wasn't very spadef. What was his rocker last time? I think Ferrothorn. Yeah, Ferrothorn. No, Clefable. Ferrothorn and Clefable are potential rockers, but I think Ferrothorn was his rocker. So yeah, he's got both options this time as well. He's got options in Rapid Spin with Hitmonchan. He could very well have Bullet Punch once again this time. He did pack the Bullet Punch, the Ice Punch, and the Drain Punch last time. So, and that's really good coverage against my team. And Mach Punch, which is really cool for Weavile. So, yeah, he could definitely be a very similar variant of Hitmonchan this time. Last time, I had more of an offensive Arcanine that was doing half to Clefable with Flare Blitz. So it's likely I could do the same this time. It's not likely, but since I'm more defensive this time, it's actually unlikely. And yeah, that's what I meant to say. I do not have the natural gift Ice this time, so the Zygarde can't be caught off guard. But he would likely scout this time around. But yeah, off the top of my head, that's about all I can remember from the last battle. Actually, his Celesteela, my Celesteela threw off a Heavy Slam in our last battle and caught him, but he actually had the Babiri Berry. Excuse me, I'm catching a cold and I have a little cough. So yeah, last time his Clefable had Ice Beam, so it could very well have Ice Beam again this time, which is actually going to do more to Salamence than Moonblast. So it's very likely, in my opinion. Let's see here. I think that's about it off the top of my head. I guess we can go ahead and hop into the replay here. Well, first let's talk about team preview. We talked more about last match and what similarities he could have brought this match. Let's talk about his lead options here. Well, let's talk about preview first. Zipstrike. So I've got the Donphan that checks the Zipstrika and semi-checks the Tornadus. Weavile offensively checks Zygarde and the Torn. And I do have Salamence with Flamethrower, Arcanine with Flare Blitz, and Mega Diancie with Hidden Power Fire, and Celesteela with Flamethrower. So something's going to bop the Ferrothorn. Aqua Barrier or not, I have enough fire coverage on my team so that Donphan and Weavile actually don't need it. And Celesteela can offensively check the monster that we call Clefable, so pretty hopeful about that. And yeah, I think we can okay, so his potential leads are things like Zipstrika and Tornadus that can Volt Switch or U-turn out, or one of his two Stealth Rock potentials in Ferrothorn and Clefable. In our last match, he actually led with Hitmonchan, which is actually a solid lead if he brings Bullet Punch and Mach Punch once again. And if he has the same set he brought last time, Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Mach Punch, Bullet Punch, then it's a fine lead once again in this matchup, as I don't really have too much to threaten it immediately outside of Celesteela or Will-O-Wisp from Arcanine. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop to the replay here. He's going to lead off with Clefable, and I'll lead off with Arcanine. Just in case he led with the Hitmonchan, I wanted to intimidate that thing immediately. So My opponent passed me his team after the match, and I guess I can talk about his sets as he has them in. So, my thought process here is that Clefable can't do much to Arcanine, so he's likely to switch out or just set up rocks or throw off a wish or something. My opponent is a defensive variant with Wish Protect, Moonblast, and Thunder Wave, the Unaware ability with leftovers, nearly max defense, and has 52 EVs and special attack. More than likely to make sure that Moonblast OHKOs a no bulk Salamence after Stealth Rocks, probably. And probably the same for Weavile and stuff. And it might mark a 2-hit KO on a non-bulky Mega Diancie. I'm not sure because I haven't did calcs for his Clefable, but I'm just guessing what the special attack investment could be. No doubt that it's 100% going to be able to OHKO a non-bulky Salamence after Stealth Rocks, though. That has to be true. Has to be. But he is more defensive here, but I don't think I have a real option. I think I just have to click Flare Blitz here. I could have clicked Will-O-Wisp there, and it would have been super cool, but it wouldn't have been as cool as I would think, because my opponent's actually going to switch into his Zygarde and reveal the following turn that he is a modest max special attack choice specs variant here with Earth Power, Core Enforcer, Shockwave, and Grass Knot. So my opponent's going to, I'm actually going to risk it here too, as crazy as that sounds. In the semifinals of a draft league on turn 2, I'm going to risk my Arcanine versus a Zygarde. Mind you that my Arcanine checks Ferrothorn, semi-checks Hitmonchan, and semi-checks Clefable as well. And I'm actually going to risk it here because I'm a man, I have huge balls, and I want to burn this Zygarde. So I'm going to burn him, and he drops me with the Earth Power. I was obliterated by the Earth Power there. So, very dumb. The reward was not worth the risk, not at all. And I'll lose my Arcanine there. So, very unfortunate for me, and very fortunate for my opponent. So now I'm at a disadvantage, and I need to start making some plays. I've got to get back in the game somehow. So his Zygarde is actually, like I said, I didn't think it would be max speed. He is actually not max speed. He is speed creeping. I'm actually not sure what he's speed creeping off the top of my head. But he's got 108 speed EVs, which sets him at 253 at level 100. I'm not sure what that speed creeping. I know it outspeeds like no speed Arcanine, and no speed Arcanine outspeeds Donphan, Electros, Golurk, Pikamaku. Excuse me. I think it's speed creeping a no speed shaman. I think that's the idea here. But yeah, he reveals the choice specs there, knocks my Arcanine out, and now I bring in Weavile to revenge kill. Can throw off a pretty safe Icicle Crash here, but I'm gonna double out predicting his Clefable, and I'm gonna double out into Celesteela, and I catch him. Okay, I catch him here, get his Celesteela in, and I get my Celesteela in, and he gets his Clefable in. So now I'm at a pretty comfortable position again. I had to make that play after letting Arcanine go down. This gives me the ability to just click Autotomize here and see what his initial response is. So he hard switches into Zipstrika, as I just go for the Heavy Slam. The reason I go for Heavy Slam there is because he could be Thunder Wave, he could be Thunderbolt. He switched out turn 1, so his set has not been revealed or anything like that. And I wanted to get some chip damage off on him, because I can see that Weavile could potentially, win this match for me. Weavile is a potential candidate for the late game cleanup, Mega Diancie and Celesteela as well. But had I got some damage there, then Banded Icicle Crash would have been able to go in later in the match. and Clefable wouldn't have been able to check me as easily. So yeah, that's the reason for the heavy slam there. He goes into the Zip Striker here, and I know that if he's max special attack, then he can only do a maximum of 66% to me. So no, he can't kill here. However, I don't want to take the damage at all, and if he's like a bulky variant, he'll do a lot less to me, and I'll do nothing to him, and he'll win the exchange anyway. So it's in my best interest to just go ahead and switch out here. As my opponent doubles out into the Zygarde, I'm going to go out into my Donphan. So he catches my switch into Donphan here, and he gets in his Zygarde here, and it has revealed to be, Earth Power already, and it OHKO'd my Arcanine. So I'm under the assumption that he's probably, just a special set. So my Donphan can actually take the hit here, and he goes for the he actually goes for the Shockwave, predicting my Celesteela as I just get up Stealth Rocks, and my opponent switches in on the Stealth Rocks. And he takes 12%, meaning he is indeed a unaware set and not a Magic Guard set. However, I have my Salamence in here and can't do much to him, but I don't have a proper switch in, and I don't want Celesteela to be caught off guard with a Thunder Wave, so I'm just going to go ahead and click the Toxic here and try to poison this Clefable now that it's shown that it's not Magic Guard. In turn, though, I get paralyzed, which is a bit unfortunate. Here, my opponent hard switches into the Zygarde as I hard switch out into my Donphan. So after I'd poisoned them, I was pretty comfortable with just letting Donphan take a little damage and get some Earthquake damage and chip it down. But he hard switches into his Zygarde, and he's shown Shockwave and Earth Power so far. So I switch out to my Salamence to get the Intimidate off. And my opponent actually clicks the Core Enforcer here and drops me. So at this point, Arcanine and Salamence have been dropped by Zygarde. Zygarde's putting in the work here. And I think at that point it had revealed to be Choice Specs. And yeah, so I bring in, so knowing he's Choice Specs and locked into a Dragon move, I bring in Mega Diancie, and I can afford to make a play here. I also have to make a play. So, yeah, I need to click Hidden Power Fire here, expecting his Ferrothorn switch in. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And he does go straight into his Ferrothorn, and we get this big Hidden Power Fire off. It pops his Occaberry and does 36%. So I know the following Hidden Power Fire will knock him out here, and this is huge. This is huge for Weavile, Celesteela, and Mega Diancie, because now Ferrothorn can't get any hits off versus Mega Diancie or Weavile, and Weavile and Celesteela aren't taking any kind of Iron Barb or Rocky Helmet damage. However, he wasn't Rocky Helmet, I'm just saying if he was. But no Iron Barb's damage either. Popped his Occaberry, then knocked him out. So a really, really fun game with just 12 turns in. A really, really fun game. Really enjoying this battle, and I think my opponent is too. So that's pretty dope. Here, he's going to bring in his Tornadus Incarnate, and at this point, I'm like, this thing's got some kind of Steel type coverage. I did not check specifically if it could run like Iron Tail or Steel Wing or anything like that, but I've noticed a lot of times when somebody's facing a Mega Diancie and they have something like Mega Alakazam or Celesteela, not Celesteela, Mega Alakazam or Mega Manectric, Tapu Koko, those mons that hit that base 111 and higher speeds, those Pokemon like to run Hidden Power Steel. I do myself as well. So I expect my opponent to have the Hidden Power Steel here, and potentially Grass Knot. So I'm actually going to switch out into Donphan and then double. I think I double here. Expecting my opponent to switch. I do think I double here. However, you see that Hidden Power Steel, or the Hidden Power was neutral. It wasn't super effective, so I know he's not Grass, Ice, or Water. And that means he's more than likely Hidden Power Steel now. Like, that confirms my suspicions. So my opponent switches out to the Hitmonchan here as I actually go for the Rock Slide. I thought I might have pulled a double out to Celesteela on the Hurricane, but I didn't. So my opponent switches out here, and Hitmonchan takes the Rock Slide like a champ. I don't have a proper switch into this thing, so what I need to do is chip it down with Donphan, put it in range of Weavile, put it in range of Celesteela, and that's the plan here. I can just click the Earthquake. He clicks the Drain Punch, and he's doing over 30%, but he's going first, meaning my Earthquake damage will always be there. Here, he doesn't want to take another one, so he switches out to his Torn, and he is Life Orb. He revealed Life Orb earlier, so I'm going to hard switch out into Celesteela, knowing that bar two high rolls, I should live this. But he gets a high roll on the on the Hurricane immediately, so now it's a roll here whether Heat Wave will kill or not, and I'm going to risk it and stay in and click Autotomize, and then try to get some key damage off versus his team. If I get the Autotomize up and his Zipstraka isn't max speed, then and Hitmonchan doesn't have Mach Punch, then I'll just win, straight up win right there. However, if he does have Mach Punch, then he could revenge kill me with Mach Punch, even if this Heat Wave lands, as long as it doesn't get a mid to high roll. So what I need here is a mid to low roll, and I have to bank on it. And that's what I'm going to click Autotomize and bank on the low roll. And he actually misses the Heat Wave entirely, which is very, very unfortunate for my opponent. Very, very unfortunate. And yeah, he's able to switch out to Zipstraka here, and it only takes 25%. So that's looking like Assault Vest to me. And I know he's going to be able to eat my next hit. And even though he wouldn't be able to knock me out from that range, at this point I noticed that I need something that can knock out Hitmonchan, and I need my Celesteela to be able to take one hit from Hitmonchan. So I'm actually going to save Celesteela and go into Donphan here, as he does click the Thunderbolt, and I'm immune. So no chip damage there whatsoever, so I'm happy about that. And I can just click the Earthquake here, as Clefable takes quite a chunk, even being defensive. It takes nearly 35%. He goes for the Wish as I click the Earthquake once again. And here, I'm going to make a misplay. I'm going to actually click Rock Slide here, predicting the Tornadus Incarnate to come in. And the reason that's a misplay is because I don't need to click Rock Slide. I need to click Earthquake and either kill Clefable or knock out Zipstraka or Hitmonchan on the switch in, or get enough damage off to see what kind of bulk investment the Zygarde has. Earthquake is the most beneficial move here, as it knocks out Clef, it knocks out Hitmonchan, it knocks out Zipstraka, and gets me information on this Zygarde, where throwing off a Rock Slide here, while it will kill the Torn, it kills nothing else besides Torn and Clefable. Maybe not even kills Clefable, which could be super problematic for me. And yeah, like I have Weavile that, Tornadus isn't a problem because I have Weavile. I can just click Ice Shard, I can just click Banded Knockoff. After Stealth Rocks, Banded Knockoff or Banded Icicle Crash or Banded Ice Shard will knock it out. So there's no reason for me to click Rock Slide here. Yet I do. I was making some very aggressive plays this match, and they're just not working out for me. And now Hitmonchan gets back to full. Now, how problematic is that? So I was interrupted there, and we're back here. Like I said, he throws off a Wish, and I click Earthquake, and instead of clicking Earthquake here, I click the Rock Slide, which, like I was mentioning, is going to be the worst play I've ever made, because it gives this nuisance Hitmonchan an ability to be back to near full health, and it becomes that much, more of a problem once again. And then he switches out to the Tornadus here, finally, and he's going to be able to get some chip damage off on me, realizing that my set's most likely Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Rock Slide, and my last move being Rapid Spin, so he's likely to know that. I'm just going to click the Rock Slide here. If I miss, I can't miss, because if he hits me, he's going to take Life Orb Recoil, meaning he's going to die anyway. But in case he had the Defog, I went for the Rock Slide anyway, and he brings in the Hitmonchan here, and I'm just going to click the Earthquake, as he can't do it, came in with Drain Punch, so I know he's not going to get any health back from this point. but he's going to click the Ice Punch here and knock me out. So it does get rid of my Dawn Fan. And here I'm going to go into Celesteela. And I can just click, I should have just clicked Air Slash or Autotomize, predicting his switching to Zip Striker or Clefable. Because I knew he wanted to save Hitmonchan. I don't know why I attacked there, because I guess it was such a big, like, I predicted my opponent to predict me to, predict him to switch. So maybe he wanted to get some extra chip on Celesteela, but that was a bad play because Hitmonchan was so good versus my last two Pokemon outside of Celesteela. So it was likely that he saves it. So my play here was to Autotomize, predicting his switch, and I could have 2-hit KO'd something, and it would have forced his Hitmonchan to, his Hitmonchan could have actually probably still won, depending on some rolls. So, actually I'd have to do some calcs to check on the Mach Punch damage, because at this point, he can't OHKO me with anything, and Zip Striker hasn't been the most offensive. It's been more bulky, gauging like Heavy Slam and Flamethrower damage. It's been more bulky, so yeah, that's something to consider. I could have definitely went for Autotomize here. It's probably my best play, but in case he went hard Zygarde or hard Zip Striker, or stayed in with a potential Assault Vest Hitmonchan, I wanted to go for the Supersonic Sky Strike to guarantee the knockout, so that Mega Diancie and Weavile can still potentially do what they need to do, since Hitmonchan beats both of those Pokemon just with two moves, Mach Punch and Bullet Punch, being 4 times effective against each respectively. So I'm actually going to go for the Supersonic Sky Strike here, as he does sack off his 1% Clefable. However, if I clicked Autotomize there, I think that was game. And he goes into his, as I would have been at +1 after Clef died, and Zip Striker can't take a Flamethrower at this range. However, if he's a max special attack here, and he gets a high roll at 66%, then I'll be at 5%, meaning Hitmonchan's Mach Punch can knock me out, and then he can run through my team with Mach Punch and Bullet Punch. So I can't afford to take damage here. Even though he's shown to be more bulky, I can't afford, like in the item, to boost his special attack to the point of putting me in range of Mach Punch. So I am going to hard switch out to Weavile here, expecting that even if he is special attack invested, that I will survive. But since he's shown bulky so far, I expect him not to be, and I take it rather well, taking 36%, as he sacks off the Zygarde to the Ice Shard. Ice Shard's my best play because it would have knocked out the Zip Striker and knocked out the Zygarde, and it has the chance to knock out the Hitmonchan here. So that was my best play, and I'm just going to click that here once again, and then go into Celesteela if I don't get the kill. As I don't get the kill, and he gets half of 64% back, I think, for his for his recovery there. Here, I have a play of switching back into Mega Diancie, expecting his Zip Striker. But even if he went Zip Striker here, and I got the chip damage off that I needed, I could have hard switched into Mega Diancie the following turn, knowing I couldn't be 2-hit KO'd. And I would have been fine in that regard as well. Being able to throw off Moonblast. He can't switch into Moonblast, so it would have came down to Hitmonchan versus Celesteela anyway. But he does predict my double here, and he goes for the Bullet Punches. I just click the Air Slash and get the knockout. And now I'm at +1, and he needs a high roll with max special attack investment to knock me out here, but he's not max special attack, and we're going to be able to pick up the 2-0 victory, sending us to the finals. Back-to-back seasons going to the finals. Last season we were flinched out by Scarf Togekiss. This season we are returning, and we're not facing a Scarf Togekiss this time, so we might have a chance. Let me know what you thought about the prep and the battle on both sides. Let me know if you think Mega Diancie and Weavile did what they needed to do, applying offensive pressure, being max special attack with or max attack, max special attack with just 4 attacks apiece. I'm super hyped. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the finals. Thank you for watching.